Akib will be out, and then everybody else that was on the injury report should be in good shape. Clay, I would think that they know Clay's out, right? So Clay is not going to play with his jaw wired shut. He's doubtful right now, so we'll have a little bit more clarity, and it's really just kind of taking our time making that decision.
You don't have him. At the end of last season, you guys played a couple games without him. The circumstances are a bit different.
They are.
How do you think that?
Well, what you know is that you got a lot of confidence in Malcolm Brown, and Darrell Henderson is a guy that has a skill set that we do feel good about. So if that's the case, then, obviously Malcolm, we feel more than confident can handle that, and Darrell will look to be able to get in there as well. As far as, anybody else, that's something that will be determined once we have the status of Todd for sure kind of determined for us.
You've been able to, he wasn't out there at least in the open portion of practice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I talked to him before, and he's in a good place. And, I think he knows his body as well as anybody. I think we all know what a tough elite competitor he's been in terms of the things that he's been able to push through. And so really it's just about that collaboration, that communication, and then making sure we do, number one, what's best for him. And he'll always be able to communicate that honestly with us. And, we're a better team when we do have Todd Gurley. But if he's not feeling right, then that's where you have the confidence in the other guys to step up. Yeah, I think there's a situation where you have a lot of confidence in him. Skip's done a very nice job with him. But then there's also been, some things where it's like, okay, haven't been able to really run it as much just based on some of the circumstances. And you want to really try to get Todd and Malcolm more involved. And then you're trying to find touches for Darrell. So it's been a positive problem for us. But he is a guy that we always anticipated at some point, whether it's this week or down the line, is going to help this football team. And that's something that I do believe will happen at some point. Well, he is a complete back like those other two. He's a slasher-type runner. Really, haven't seen him a whole lot in some of those live game settings other than the preseason or when you're evaluating his Memphis tape. But he's got a great feel for the game. I think, I've heard Mike Shanahan say this. Some of the best runners you're around, usually you don't have to tell them how to run the ball. They have a good feel for it, and they have an understanding of where the play starts and kind of feeling and picking and choosing their spots accordingly. He's got great hands, so he's got a nice skill set that makes him a versatile piece, and, that's one of the reasons we liked him so much. Yeah, he has, and a couple other players. I'm not I know that they're okay, but those fires, I could smell when I was driving over here, and it's so unfortunate, and it gives you such a perspective. And this is now the third year in a row that stuff's happened. Obviously, I'm newer to this area, but it's so unfortunate when you watch people have to go through that, and it's affected 3 of our players right now, and hopefully, it'll be something that they're able to return back to their homes with no damage done, and guys get everything under control. Yeah, it's Sampson and John Johnson. Yeah, they're here. Everybody's okay, but I can only imagine how I would feel. A couple years ago, I was evacuated. We had to get evacuated from my house, and that's an unnerving thing. Is it close? Is it not? And that those are things that it's not fun to go through, and you never wish that, especially on our guys. Sure. Yeah. What we want to do is let's look at what are the reasons why. And there are some instances, too, where the points can be a little bit misleading where, offensively we turned the ball over and gave them some short fields against Tampa. So, it's always about the team, but it's really, okay, if it is focused on the defense, what are the things that we haven't done that have enabled teams to be able to make some plays? How do we face that? How do we fix it? And then how do we make sure that we do it better if it's something that the 49ers activate? So I think before you even get into your, game preparation for the upcoming opponent, you got to make sure that you're aware of fixing your mistakes and making sure that you don't leave those same things susceptible to being attacked again. And our guys have done a great job, and we're confident that, I'm confident that it's going to be a great challenge, but guys are going to be ready to go and play well on Sunday. Well, I think the one thing that is consistent, we got some coaches with some great personalities too. I think that there's a mutual love for football the guys all work hard, they enjoy that, and there's a consistent accountability. And I think when you've got the consistent core beliefs and a mutual respect for one another, that's really, a good chemistry that they have. We enjoy it, and that's part of the deal. You want guys that have some swag, some confidence, and that's really what you feel from that room. It's his ribs, to really, I guess we'd have to ask Reggie specifically, but I mean, those are things that really do affect and inhibit your ability to move around, so it's his ribs.
Would you consider bringing Kelly off the practice squad for this game?
That could be something that we would explore. If Todd's out, you might have to find another spot, to get 3 backs up, so that could be something that you could see us potentially do, Gary, definitely.
Troy Hill steps in.
Yeah.
What's your confidence level with him?
Yeah, very high. He's played a lot of football. He played a lot of football last year. We think he's a starting caliber player. He's got great short space quickness, good agilities, good lateral movement. He's got a good understanding of what we're trying to get done. Really, he's one of those versatile players that can play corner. He can play the nickel spot for us. And he's really, his movement, his competitiveness. You look at when we played them week 7 last year, the interception that he made on the deep end breaking route, really impressive. And when Troy's played, he's played well. He's played at a high level, and we're very confident in Troy.
The other day you said that Todd's injury kind of caught you guys by surprise or off guard.
Yeah.
What did you mean? Because were you not aware of that immediately after the game? Or?
Yeah, here's what I would say. I don't know that caught me off guard is the best way to articulate it. I think it was one of those deals where he's so physical that, you're just saying, all right, you get your typical bumps and bruises. Usually you turn over pretty quickly. But that was communicated to me that he had taken a good shot, and, he has adrenaline going, and he's so tough to just continue to compete. He stayed loose during the course of the game, so it didn't pull him out. But when you look at it, and if you get caught in the right spot, those things, it's hard where you can't really get that full range of motion back, and especially when so much of your movement is predicated on being able to put your foot in the ground and have those, those reactionary movements as a runner. So I don't know that caught me off guard, but I think he got caught, with a little bit better injury in terms of just the shot that he took than maybe I had realized is probably a better way of saying it. But he communicated to us, and that was really what happened. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he came in immediately. He's been doing everything in his power to be able to get himself ready to go. So he's held up his end of the bargain, and that's why you have such a respect for these running backs and the toll that it takes when you just look at what a physical game it is out there. You're standing on the sidelines, and all it does is week in and week out continue to give you an appreciation for what these guys do and how physical this game is with the high level caliber of athletes and the types of collisions that you're seeing. All right, thanks, guys.